The Yukon River is the longest river in the Yukon in Alaska, and it's the third longest river in North America. It was the only mode of transportation back in those days. In particular, it was instrumental in getting the pioneers to the gold rush. But Kwanlin, which is where the Kwanlin First Nations got its name, means water running through canyon.
The land is our home, and the land is also provides shelter and food and sanctuary. So I really think that the land is sacred, and you know, I see the people when they are on the land, they're their happiest and the healthiest. So I think the land is very important to be there to live a good life.
Particularly in the summer, the Kwanlin First Nations people would come to this area and gather on the banks of the Yukon River and catch enough fish that would get them through the very harsh winters that are here in the Yukon.
In the fall, they would start going into the bush and going higher, and they would pick berries, and they would go hunt like caribou and moose, and so they're always like harvesting food, right, in different seasons, right? So, and gathering firewood, for the upcoming winter, and there was always things to keep them busy, right?
The Yukon River is very important to my people. It has always been important because it's like our highway. Before highways were being built, the river was our main transportation. And today, the river is still important because we travel on the river, and our salmon are in this river. So it's important for us to keep the river as clean as possible.
The river meant lots to my people. In the winter, they used to go trapping on the river with dog team. If we could still fish for salmon, I would use it for fishing. The reason we stopped fishing was because the salmon, the king salmon, was low in number. So we all decided, well, we're going to voluntarily not fish unless we got something special going on, like potlatch or something like that.
The Trondequichin government is just like the Canadian government, the Yukon government. It's just our government. It's our own government. So if we were to sit at the table with the Yukon government, we would have the same equal rights as they do to negotiate anything.
There are 14 Yukon First Nations. 11 of them have signed self-governing agreements, and 3 are still being negotiated. And that's the next big thing that will happen. Unfortunately, First Nations have had to litigate. Much of their discussions with government have been done in the courts.
The Yukon Indian chiefs sum up their position in one sentence which reads, "Many of our people feel that our grievances are so great that there is no way we can be compensated for what has happened to us." The Indians say it will take more than cash to solve their problems. They want to participate in the development of their land. In their words, "We will not sell our heritage for a quick buck or a temporary job."
We lost I would say we lost stories from our elders. We lost valuable teachings from our elders. Our language is here a little bit, but we aren't fluent in our own language. I guess you could say we also lost somewhat of a connection to our land. Like a long time ago, we were more connected to the land and the animals than we are today.
That we need this place for our survival. We need the land to survive, right? You know, and by people coming back to the land, I think they'll start to feel these things that are very natural to them, you know, like it's our home, right? That feeling of coming home. That's what it feels like to me when I come out. I just feel like I belong here, you know.
To this day, the Kwalendon First Nation consider this facility being right on the Yukon River to be so important to who they are and what they represent. And so back in June 21st of 2012, they built this and opened this facility, and they believed that that was a key part of their self-government negotiations, was to have this piece of land right here on the Yukon River. I think it's very important that the culture of Kwalendon First Nations is preserved and is shared with other people around the world, and certainly within the Yukon, so that people learn about the Kwalendon First Nation.
It's about expressing who we are and being able to sing and dance with one another and really feel that connection to our ancestors, and being able to learn and grow together as a group, keep our culture alive. Keeping our culture alive, that's what it's all about.